Alright, this is the Airaid cold air intake for 2013-2014 Mustang with the 3.7 V6. It's probably honestly the same intake for any year that has the 3.7. I believe that would be 11 to 15 or 16, somewhere around there. It may not be exact, but there's a good chance considering it's the same engine. I believe even though they changed the outside of the bodies a little bit, it stayed the same under the hood. But regardless, this one is for my 14 here, so this is going to be the install video. I got a bunch of other parts I'm putting on it. Aluminum one-piece drive shaft, 373 gears. Going to do something with the exhaust. SCT tuner with MPT tunes. So if you want to follow the build on it, please subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and select all so you'll get notified when I post new videos. So let's get into it. So from what I've seen, it looks fairly simple because it's just going to kind of sit there. You got a little box there that's going to sit here and seal up against the hood to try and block that hot air from coming out. So there's no fender removal or anything with this one like there is some cars. So it should be pretty straightforward. So we'll just get started on disconnecting everything. You're going to need to disconnect your air intake tract here, loosen this, pop it off. We're going to need to unplug here. We'll work on getting everything undone and pulled out, and I'll walk you through it as I go. I should mention before you start, disconnect your negative cable, set it off the side there where there's no chance of it touching the battery. So you got these two hoses here. You want to be very careful with this one because it's plastic. You got to pull this little tab here and then wiggle it off carefully. That has that little plastic band in there, and when you pull back on it, it causes it to expand enough to where it'll slip over that plastic ring. This one's just going to be rubber. You just twist it, pull back at the same time. Let's see here. This one, I'm going to say it's that little tab maybe. I need two hands for this one. Okay, so it's actually on the bottom. You got to pull this little red tab back, and then you can depress on this tab to pull it out. So this should be free now. I also loosened this band. I'm going to pop off of here first. So there's that piece. Give us a lot more room to finish disconnecting this stuff. And I also know we're going to have to relocate this sensor to the new one. So I pulled the lid off, which is obviously just releasing these two tabs, popping it off. And we're going to need to disconnect this from the lid by forcing those back out through those holes. Take our air filter out, and looks like just a mounting bolt there, and then it's gonna probably pop free here. It should just pop out here, yeah. And then there's little rubber grommets holding the box right there, so you just pop it out, and that's it. So now we can route the new one. Alright, so there's these two rubber grommets here. One was stuck to my box I pulled out and the other one stayed, so make sure you got both of them back in there. You got to pull this piece out of the factory box right there. Little rubber seal that goes in there, and this metal piece as well. Reinstall it into the new one, and then you're gonna set this. Obviously that goes in there. Line up the grommet holes and then reinstall the bolt. Alright, so you got to remove this. Like I said, oh, that's nice. They have these little star bit things. I should have some of those. So, and then you got to put it here, and they want you to use the screws that I almost lost that they provide. I'm assuming it's a different thread pitch or something. That is awesome. It actually comes with the bit. Thank you, Airaid. Alright, so unless I lost it, they gave you the bit to get the factory ones out, but not to get their new ones in. But maybe they figured a lot of people don't have those star bits, but everybody has Allen wrenches. So, I don't know. Unless I dumped it out and lost it somewhere. Alright, so you got to stick this grommet in here so that you can insert that into it. Otherwise it just flops around. And then this said with the automatic you need this one so you can reconnect this hose. If you have a manual car, then you'll just stick this plug in it because nothing goes there. That was a real pain in the ass. This rubber is very sticky. I had to back this as far out as it would go without coming apart, and then it's still very tight fit. It's about what it should look like all the way around if it's fully installed. Make sure you don't catch your lip here. I got this one all the way out too, so now I gotta try to feed that in there and pop it in there at the same time. I couldn't get it the other way, so I put it on the throttle body first. I don't know what the flying F-on is up with mine, but that was all I could do to squeeze that shit in there. Look at this huge gap. It doesn't even... In the picture, there's no freaking gap. Okay, but not only that, and I still gotta push this back some to get these to line up, but look at that angle. So I'm not sure if I got like wrong tube or slightly wrong box. Like maybe one of these is for a different year and it got thrown in the box. Maybe part of it's for a GT. I don't freaking know. I couldn't get it on by popping it in there first like it says and then putting it over the throttle body. So I put it on the throttle body first, and then it was still all I could do to get it in that way, bowing the crap out of that plastic. But mass airflow plugged back in, vacuum lines and all this crap plugged back in. And again, when you snap this on, push that tab back in to expand it so it'll go over. Got my screws and washers in there. Pop that over, tighten that down. Tighten these two down. I gotta put this strip back on. Alright, I figured out what the gap was for. Sort of. I don't know if that was... Maybe that was supposed to pop around there. No, I don't think so, because that hose clamp's in the way. But the extra diameter of this rubber pretty much closes off that gap all the way around. So that's good. So, not a perfect fit. Got that on a little bit of a binding. It was a pain in the ass to pop that in there, but it sealed up okay. So that's it. Double check everything, make sure everything's tight, make sure you plugged everything back in, reconnect your battery, and then you're good to go. And obviously I shoved this thing on, which was a real pain in the ass. I put the curvature inward, so when I close the hood, I'm hoping that's gonna, you know, fold it like that instead of the opposite. Whole lot of shoving from the beginning here, shoving and wiggling down real hard all the way up, centimeter at a time. If you tried to go further spacing than that, then it would just pop off and not line up. So that was a pain in the ass, but we're done. So let's see how it sounds. Reconnect the battery and then plug in your mass airflow. Some cars, Toyota, press that little red tab in. Surge in power when you hook it back up might fry the math, but not that it would be a problem on this car, but just in case. Alright, well that's it for the install. So if you want to see some pulls with it, that's going to be another video. I'm going to retune for the cold air intake with my SCT scanner. Again, I got other things coming, 373 gears, aluminum drive shaft, doing something with the exhaust and the MPT tune. So if you want to follow, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you know when I post. Thanks for watching.